Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Technical Suyul. Today's video is all about mind-blowing turning points in history that changed the world in ways most people don't even realize. We're diving deep into the 10 historical events you didn't know reshaped our planet forever. Some happened centuries ago, others just decades back. But each one triggered massive shifts in politics, society, or technology that still affect us today. Trust me, number one will make you rethink everything. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a journey through the most fascinating stories from our past. Alright, let's get into it. 10. The fall of the Berlin Wall, a symbolic collapse of an era. Picture this. Berlin, 1989. The city stood divided literally by a concrete wall separating east and west. Communism and democracy, oppression and freedom. But beneath the surface, something powerful was stirring. A deep desire for unity, freedom, and progress. When the Berlin Wall finally fell, it wasn't just bricks that crumbled, it was decades of Cold War tension. This event not only led to the reunification of Germany, but also marked the symbolic end of the Cold War. Suddenly, the world saw a new possibility: peaceful revolution, diplomatic breakthroughs, and a shift towards globalization. The echoes of that night still shape international relations today. 9. The signing of the Magna Carta, power to the people. Let's rewind way back to 1215 in England. King John was facing a rebellion from his own barons, frustrated by his heavy-handed rule. That resistance led to something revolutionary, the Magna Carta. This wasn't just another dusty old document. It established, for the first time, that even the king was subject to the law. It laid the groundwork for the modern legal systems and the concept of individual rights. If you enjoy things like voting rights, fair trials, or freedom of speech, you can trace those back to this moment. It was the birth of democracy as we know it. 8. The Industrial Revolution, the rise of the machines. Fast forward to the 18th century, and the world was about to change in ways no one could have imagined. The Industrial Revolution transformed small, rural towns into booming cities filled with factories, machines, and innovation. This wasn't just about new gadgets, it was about a complete societal shift. People moved from farms to factories, economies exploded with growth, and technology began advancing at breakneck speed. But it also sparked new challenges: harsh working conditions, child labor, and vast social inequality. It was a double-edged sword that still defines the modern world. 7. The American Revolution, a declaration heard around the world in the 1770s. 13 British colonies in North America reached a breaking point. Fed up with heavy taxation, lack of representation, and British control from thousands of miles away, they boldly declared their independence. This marked the start of the American Revolution, a battle not just for territory, but for an entirely new idea: that people had the right to govern themselves. The Declaration of Independence, signed in 1776, wasn't just a political statement, it was a global rallying cry. Its message of liberty, self-rule, and individual rights echoed far beyond American borders. Revolutionary movements in South America, France, and even parts of Asia drew inspiration from it. The American Revolution became a blueprint for resistance against colonial empires, proving that unity, vision, and courage could topple even the most powerful rulers. It redefined what freedom meant and sparked a wave of change that shaped the modern world. 6. The French Revolution. When the people took over just a few years after the American Revolution, France was on the edge of chaos. By 1789, tensions exploded, and the storming of the Bastille signaled the beginning of the French Revolution, a brutal, radical, and inspiring fight for justice. The French didn't just want change. They wanted to completely reshape society. Ideas like liberty, equality, and fraternity weren't just slogans, they were revolutionary concepts that still define modern democracies. The revolution introduced the idea that sovereignty belonged to the people, not kings. It was messy. It was violent. But it changed the idea of government forever. 5. Gutenberg's printing press. The original internet may not look like much now, But in the 15th century, Johannes Gutenberg's printing press was the most powerful invention on Earth. Before this, books were hand-copied and incredibly rare. Knowledge was reserved for the elite. But Gutenberg changed that. With his press, books became affordable, literacy spread, and new ideas traveled like wildfire. It sparked the Reformation, the Enlightenment, and even the scientific revolution. In many ways, this invention was the beginning of mass communication. Much like the internet is today. 4. Columbus reaches the Americas. A global collision course in 1492. Christopher Columbus set sail from Spain, hoping to find a faster route to Asia. Instead, he landed in the Caribbean and unknowingly introduced Europe to the Americas, two continents previously unknown to Europeans. This moment marked the beginning of what historians call the Columbian Exchange, one of the most significant events in world history. Following Columbus's voyage, an immense exchange of goods, ideas, plants, animals, and unfortunately diseases took place between the eastern and western hemispheres. Europeans brought horses, wheat, and cattle to the New World, while potatoes, tomatoes, corn, and chocolate made their way to Europe. However, this exchange also led to the spread of deadly diseases like smallpox, which devastated indigenous populations across the Americas. This era ignited global trade networks, colonization, and a massive reshaping of cultures and economies. Though controversial and often tragic, Columbus's journey set the stage for a new, interconnected world. 3. The abolition of slavery, humanity's fight for justice. For centuries, slavery was one of the darkest stains on human civilization. But from the 18th century onward, a wave of abolitionist movements began sweeping across the world, led by brave individuals and collective uprisings. These movements challenged centuries of injustice. From the British abolition in 1833 to the U.S. Emancipation Proclamation and beyond, each victory was hard-won. The abolition of slavery reshaped social systems, laws, and human rights in powerful ways. And while the struggle for racial equality continues, this historical milestone was a massive leap toward justice. 2. The two world wars. When the world broke apart, the 20th century was shaped by two of the deadliest conflicts in human history. World War I and World War II. World War I, 1914 to 1918. Shattered empires like the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman, introduced trench warfare, and redrew political borders across Europe and the Middle East. Just 2 decades later, World War II, 1939 to 1945, brought even greater devastation, marked by the Holocaust, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the fall of fascist powers like Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. Together, the wars caused the deaths of over 70 million people and changed the global order. From their ashes rose the United Nations, the Cold War, and a new world defined by superpower rivalry and international cooperation. These wars highlighted how fragile peace truly is and how high the cost of conflict can be. Their legacy continues to influence global politics, security, and diplomacy even today. 1. The digital revolution, rewiring the world. And finally, at number 1, we have the digital revolution, a transformation that's still unfolding. From the 1980s onward, personal computers, the internet, and mobile technology have redefined how we live, learn, and communicate. This isn't just about scrolling through your phone or posting on social media. The digital age has created new economies, reshaped education, and connected billions of people. But it also brings challenges: privacy issues, digital addiction, misinformation, and economic divides. As we step further into the age of AI and automation, we're living in the middle of one of the most world-changing events in human history. So, there you have it, 10 historical events you didn't know changed the world, from ancient documents to digital revolutions. These moments didn't just make history, they shaped the present. And they're still influencing the future. If you learned something new, or just love exploring how the past still affects us today, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and tap the bell icon so you never miss our latest deep dives into the world's most fascinating stories. Thanks for watching. This is Technical Suyal, signing off. See you in the next one.